Here's a list of some recent success stories I've had this week, only to keep you motivated because as far as I'm concerned, success stories, as little as they might be, always gave me a much-needed boost. So, enjoy and read Neville. Story number 1. D is a friend of mine that I hadn't seen in 4 years. I had a crush on him 4 years ago, and since I have glowed up, I wanted him to see me like this, as a way for my ego to be satisfied. So while getting back into law of attraction and especially into Neville a few weeks ago, I assumed I was going to meet him again. Tricky circumstance, he has moved to another continent for 2 years now, and only comes back to our hometown during summer break, and I don't go back there pretty often. On Friday, I had a train from Paris to my hometown. It was a very long train, 17 coaches of 2 stories I guess. And whilst I paid for my ticket, I thought to myself, I trust the algorithm to take me to a convenient seat. No idea why I did that. I guess I was trying to be somewhere where I could store my luggage. Whilst I was walking along the train for like 10 minutes, it was so long I swear, I thought to myself, I don't care, this seat is going to be worth it. When I sat at my seat, I looked up and guess who was in front of me? D, of course, which reminds me that I had manifested things with him before knowing about the law. Let me tell you about it. I hadn't planned on telling you this because I had forgotten about this weird event. For years ago, I knew about the law, but I didn't understand it and I had never tried to apply it. I had at this time a pretty huge crush on D. As I was riding my horse around the neighborhood, I found it funny to look at the names on the mailboxes. Don't ask me why, I'm weird. Funny thing, D's family name was on a first mailbox. I laughed and moved on to the next mailbox, still on my horse, and the same family name was on the mailbox. Long story short, out of like 8 mailboxes, 8 had this name. I have to add that it's not a common family name. I felt really weird, for real. Never had I noticed that all my neighbors had the same last name, and that it was his. I do not live in a city but on the countryside. I asked him, and his entire family lives next to the ranch I live in. Like, what are the odds? Now that I think about it, I was so focused on him that it was an unconscious manifestation. Story number 2. L is one of my cousin's friends. I had a crush on him 2 years ago, and wanted to see him for him to see that I have glowed up too. I assumed I was going to see him again, like D. Yesterday I was with my cousin, and out of nowhere my cousin asked me, "Hey, do you want to come with me seeing fireworks with L?" It was so funny, so I ended up watching fireworks with him, and we plan on going on vacation together, like with our families. We're gonna be 32 people on the same house. It also happened out of nowhere. Story number 3. What happened with T is slightly different. T is the guy I'm going to get with once he realizes he loves me. He is the guy I want to get with. Now I had already manifested a text from him saying he wanted to see me, after he rejected me, which was the moment I got back into Neville cause I wanted to get my life together, but I was facing some major immobility from the situation that seemed not to move anymore. He was back to ignoring me, but I keep on persisting cause I feel something incredible is about to happen. Anyway, I was working for my internship on Wednesday, and suddenly one of my coworkers went to I was wearing a sweatshirt from my school, and she said to my she also went there and she knows someone that still is at this school. At some point she told me, well, my best friend's brother goes to this school too, he's called T, and he was at my house with his sister during lockdown. Know that my internship is in Paris, and there is no way someone would nor should have known him, let alone talk to me about him. Ever since people start to talk to me about him all the time and I see him everywhere, even on TV like. Now I know this isn't over, and it's only little things, but it is still movement. So keep on persisting the way I do and everything's gonna come your way. Story number 4. For weeks now I've been wanting to stop at the piano inside the train station, but never did cause I was busy and the piano was always occupied. On Friday, the day I met D, I left early to have a chance to play the piano and because I felt like it, and a group of people was singing. I began harmonizing, cause I cannot not harmonize something. When I hear music I have to do it. One of the girls saw me and asked me to sing with them, so I went, and it was awesome. I have been a singer in a gospel choir for 3 years and a half, but I left the choir because I left the city for my studies, and also because of health problems. However, I miss gospel. I miss singing gospel songs and hearing choirs. On Monday, out of nowhere, my grandma, who also sings in a gospel choir, asked me if I wanted to come to their annual show. I said yes, and we went with my grandpa and his cousin. At the beginning of the show, I thought I'm going to end up on stage, and guess what? I did. At the end, they saw I was singing with them and asked me to come with them. By the way, the same thing happened a few years ago. I'm going to see them again on Saturday case they come to my hometown, and let me tell you, I'm going to end up on stage again cause I miss it. The concert was Saturday and I wasn't expecting it to be this intense. So basically, I helped the choir with many things during the whole weekend, and on Saturday 10 to 15 people have asked me to do the entire show with them. They were all like, "You're coming on stage with us, right?" And when I said I preferred watching from the public cause I was overly tired, and I didn't want to sing the whole concert, "No, you don't have a choice, you're coming with us." They were all begging me to sing with them, and I ended up accepting to go on stage with one song, otherwise I sang with them from the public. After that, they came to me and said that I should have come with them the entire show because they all saw I was singing all the songs from the public. It was funny cause I knew I was going to sing with them, but seeing them literally begging me to be a part of their choir made me realize that the subconscious truly is powerful. Story number 5. When I started my journey, I wanted to receive compliments cause I've suffered from bullying for 7 years and had low self-esteem. I wanted to change my self-concept, and as a proof I wanted people to notice it, so I started affirming, and ever since, I receive compliments, from a little girl in a train that went up to me to say, "You're so beautiful," to my friends saying how pretty I am. Like, for real, I never would have thought this would happen a few weeks ago. On Saturday I came back to my parents and my dad told me, "I saw X, someone I don't really know and haven't seen in a long time, and she said you are getting very pretty. She didn't believe how pretty you've gotten." And then my mom added, "Yeah, and why, a friend of my parents told me that too last Saturday." I swear I couldn't believe it. Hours ago I was affirming I am so pretty and people tell me compliments all the time. Story number 6. I have some money on a saving account that I had saved initially for my studies, and a few months ago I decided to have a car. It was before getting back into Neville. I talked to my parents about it, and whilst my dad was very happy, my mom didn't want me to have one, cause she didn't believe I needed one desperately. After weeks of negotiating, we agreed on something. My mom wanted to get a new car and sell her old one cause she wanted an electric car, so I would use the money on my saving account to buy it back from her. However, 2 weeks ago I talked to her about it and she told me she didn't think I needed one, and besides she didn't want to buy her new car right away cause she didn't find the perfect one that would match all her criteria. She told me not to get my hopes up cause she didn't want me to have a car anymore, and even if she did I would have to wait 6 months for her to decide which car to buy and another 6 months for the car to arrive, cause new cars take so much time to arrive. I said I wouldn't care about the circumstances, cause circumstances don't matter, and started to treat my mom's car as if it was mine, often visualizing myself asking my friends who wanted me to drive them home, and feeling that it was mine. On Thursday my mom called me with my dad and he asked me, "Are you still interested in buying mom's car?" She just had signed for a car and would only have to wait 2 months for the car to arrive. I thought about it and was very happy, but I still said fuck it, she's gonna get a call from the car seller saying he has another one earlier. On the next morning I woke up and my mom had just gotten off the phone with him saying she now only has to wait 2 weeks cause one got available in another color that was even better. Later she got another call saying she only has to wait for a week. It was surreal, I swear. Now this might not feel huge to you, but I swear it all happened in less than a week, which is huge. The techniques I used. What do I do to see such movement in such different areas in my life? Yes, I know I am far from having $1 million in my bank account, but no one has learned to run before learning how to walk, so baby steps, people. It's still amazing. I've only gotten back to this a few weeks ago and see everything I have manifested so far. Self-concept. The first thing I did was changing my self-concept. I went back into Law of Assumption and Neville because I felt bad about myself and wanted to change, so I started to like me, which changes from when I wanted to disappear and never to had been born. Now I know my worth, I know I am a good person who deserves only good things, and things really started to come my way since I've started to feel worthy of a good life. Believing, I have started to believe in everything I wanted. I spent so many hours reading posts that I find it difficult to find posts I haven't read. I think about it all the time and I believe in the law. I believe it's all happening and I live in the end. Visualizing and lining in the END, for the material thing and for manifesting T. I love to live in the end. Like I'm going to be in a room and imagine him being here with me and my family. I talk to him in my head and act as if he was there, hugging me. I am a huge daydreamer, so I love to get lost in my thoughts, just contemplating the perfect life in my imagination. SATs. I have started to work on SATs for about a week, cause I realized my daydreams were very vivid, so I might as well do that when I fall asleep. I still struggle with this method cause I am too aware of what I am doing to fall asleep, but I know that I'm going to do great things thanks to that. Feeling is the secret. I feel things, I know things, like I know we'll end up together with T, so I try not to care about the 3D. I can already feel him loving me, and as I begin to dream about it I take it as a good sign. Just feel everything as it's already yours. Silent sub. I was a bit skeptical about this method, but damn has this worked. I swear I have started listening to a silent sub less than a week ago, and that is when everything started to come to the 3D, so I'll keep on listening to that for hours. Since it's silent I listen to it several hours a day and at night. Lots of things have changed in a week and I wouldn't be surprised if this was the cause of it. I won't tell you about the little things I had manifested so far, like particular books, pancakes, seeing a ladder that happened to be on my desk for no reason, and free AirPods given by my friend, but I swear it's all real, it's all happening and you'll get there so much faster than you'd think. Just persist and keep on reading, not caring about if you're doing it right. Yes, babe, you do it right. What feels right for you is right. Methods are just ways to help you get to the state of knowing it's done, so keep going. Pray a pregnant cow at 11:56 p.m. every day if it gets you to the state of knowing and feeling. I believe in you. You can do anything you want to do, get anything you want to get, so keep on persisting cause the only way you won't get it is if you stop trying.